George who?
Cohen. George M. Little George, Yankee Doodle Kid.
Never heard of him.
Good. That's the way we want it. Why? Well, to keep us honest. You see, this play is about time and George Cohen. He's our hero and we're on his side. So to help balance the scales, we tell it with a cast who's young enough never to have seen him perform. And in some cases, George who? Never even to have heard of him. Hard to believe? Try this simple test. Ask your own kids when you get home. While you're at it, Pop, ask them about John Barrymore and the Little Flower, and Wendell Wilkie and Toots and Casper, and Mellow Rolls and the NRA. Ask them about Lamont Cranston. Never heard of him. Surprised? Well, don't be. You see, there's been one of those floods the earth comes up with every 20 years or so. The old landmarks, they've tumbled. And except for the odd footprint, the sand is clear. Well, look for me, kid, says Georgie. I'm still there. Well, that's what we're going to do tonight, Georgie. Look for you. Ollie, can we get some light? Now, because this is George Cohen's story, we tell it where he lived, on a stage. Like this one. Yeah, it's not much, is it? Or everything. It all depends on how you look at it. Well, end of prologue, we're ready. We hope that you're ready. As for Georgie, he was never anything but. Beginning with his first stage in Providence, Rhode Island, July 4th, 1878. Now, the truth is he was actually born on the day before, but it pleased George to give Independence Day as his birthday, so July 4th it is. Heightened reality, they call that. He dressed up for the stage. But that's where he lived it, how he lived it, and that's how we're going to tell it. July 4th, 1878, George Michael Cohen is born.
George!
My sister thanks you, and I thank you. Okay, let's get those drops out. Freddie, more light over here. Archie.
Yeah, kid.
Where are the rest of the boys at? I told them to come right up.
Take it easy, kid. They're right behind me.
George, are you sure it wouldn't be a good idea to see him in the dressing room first?
Worst place in the world, Pop. A guy like E.F. Albee comes back to see us? That is a scene and it's gotta be staged.
What your father's trying to say, George, is that it might be a good idea to take it easy with Mr. Albee.
Look, Mom, Pop, you two just leave Albee to me. He wants this act, otherwise he wouldn't have come all the way to Cedar Rapids to catch it. And if he wants it, well then he's gonna pay for it. Now remember, we give it the Cohan touch. Speed, lights, music.
George, it's Mr. Albee. He's coming.
Okay, you and Mom do your number first, then Josie, then for the grand finale, little Georgie himself. Oh, hello, yeah. Love to chat with you, but we're a little busy right now. We're running over some sensational new material that I just wrote for the act to use when we play in New York.
Some other time then.
What? No, you misunderstand. Stay, watch, if you insist. As a matter of fact, it might actually do you some good. The public's getting sick of the same junk you've been feeding them for the past, what, 20 years now? You need something new, kid. And that something new happens to be spelled C-O-H-A-N. Go on, Pop, you're on. Catchy, huh? Now watch this. Reruns. Notice that song, yet another Cohan original. And now, I want you to meet the pride and joy of the family, the most talented little miss in vaudeville, Miss Josie Cohan.
Oh, you wonderful boy, what a wonderful boy you are.
Makes you want to move with it, don't it?
You made the world appear to me, near to me, dear to
Come on,
me.
if you feel like it.
All those wonderful lives thrill me
He's
through.
moving it.
It seems to me to be a wonderful world since I met you.
Josie, that was beautiful. And now, kid, I want you to get a load of a song, a step, and a personality that I guarantee you will take New York by storm a week after we open. Little Georgie himself. Let's not walk through this one. Goodbye, my lady love. So long, my turtle dove. Farewell, my honeysuckle. I've got to go. While I am on my way, I'll phone you every day. I'll tell you how I am if you want to know.
I'll hear if you're acting gaily.
Don't be leery.
I get my letter daily.
Yes, my dearie. kids, just think of all the fun I miss if I miss that Broadway train.
The what? The young lady, $60 a week, opening in Atlantic City.
Now you wait just
That is a nice offer, Mr. Albee, and I'm sure Josie appreciates it, but this is a 4-act, Mr. Albee.
And a good one. Hey, maybe you didn't like everything you saw, but with a few changes maybe? A few cuts?
What changes? No, the act's great and you know it, just because some big
Producer! You'll have to excuse the boy, Mr. Albee. He's just so excited about your being here. Why, only this afternoon he said to me, gosh, Dad, do you suppose Mr. E.F. Albee, with all his renowned experience and good taste, would be willing to help us out with the act? Didn't you, son?
I never...
You see? Now go on, Mr. Albee. We're all ears.
Well, it ain't a bad little act, I guess. Maybe I can use the 4 of you.
What I told you.
You can open in 2 weeks.
There.
Oh, okay, I get it now. He was only kidding before. You are a great kidder then. Now, what we want is $7.50 per
And Poughkeepsie at $150 per. 2 weeks guaranteed. Then, if you shape up...
Wonderful, Mr. Albee, and we accept. Now, when we start...
Start? No, nobody starts in Poughkeepsie, Pop. That's where you finish. So if you want my advice, Mr. Albee...
I think you have said just about enough.
Oh, no, I didn't, Mr. Albee. Not near enough. You are going to want this act someday. And I just want you to know that the 4 Cohans will never play any theater of yours for as long as we are in this business. And there's no use pleading. I won't change my mind. Imagine us in Poughkeepsie.
Well, it's a lot closer to New York than we are now.
Closer isn't enough, Pop. We have been on our way to New York for 12 years now. I want to get there.
So do I, and your mother. But just because we want a thing doesn't mean we can have
But
it.
why not, Pop? If somebody's good enough, I am good enough. And why not? Look, Pop, I can't lie. You never really taught me how. I'm Georgie, and I think that I'm great. And if that makes me a fresh punk, well then okay, fine, I'm a punk. But I am going up there, Pop, and no Albee or anybody else is going to stop me.
Hey, Tiger!
Not now, Archie, I'm busy.
So are the boys, Georgie, and they want their money. We rehearsed for nearly 8 hours.
Don't you worry, Archie, you'll get your money. I always pay my debts. Dad, can you let me have 20?
I'm afraid I haven't got that much, George. Nellie?
Just the money for this week's rent. I'll get it for you, Archie.
Look, Mrs. Cohen, sorry to do this.
It's okay,
Rehearsed
it's
for nearly
okay.
8 hours then.
Georgie, what am I going to do with you? I know you want to get someplace and be somebody, but you're using up so many people along the way.
People are not what I'm thinking about right now, Pop. just let me get where I'm going, and I promise you, we'll have more people around us than we even know what to do.
I hope so, George. I hope so.
You understand, don't you, Josie? Look, it's like I'm running. There's a long train going by me, and I'm running after it. I can see people laughing inside, and the light from the windows is shining on those little brass railings outside of the doors. And I know if I can once, just once, touch those railings, then I'll get on. And for some crazy reason, you'll be there. And Mom and Pop, all of us, together, Josie. Always.
You'll get on, George. I know you will. But trains start and they stop. And that's why we all need people to be there when it's time to get off. Because nothing's always, George.
Yeah, well, I am. And you know why? Because I'm playing it their way from now on. If humble's what they want, well then humble they're going to get. 14 carats, solid brass, Rhode Island, Irish humble, and don't you look for better, because there ain't. Oh, Mom, Pop, it's the new me. Yeah, that's right, the old loudmouth is no more, so feast your eyes on the new Georgia. Thoughtful, modest, quiet, unassuming, and most of all, considerate of others at all times. Oh, unless, of course, we happen to run into any of the fat heads of Albie. Did you see the way he just sat there, Mom? Not a single smile in him. Hey, but don't you worry about it. We'll still play New York. And why shouldn't we? We've got everything. Brains, talent, heart, the greatest actor in the business. And me, little Georgie himself.
I like the new George.
Best thing about him is you don't miss the old one.
Look, Mom, Pop, you're not getting down about this, are you? Okay, so, yeah, Albie didn't hire us. That's a bit of a problem. And we now owe Madam Baldy $20 for this week's rent. But a couple bad breaks like that aren't going to keep us down. Pop, you know what I want? I want the four of us to walk out of this theater as if we owned the world. Did I say walk? I meant march. No, stride. Shoulders back, head high and chin up. Follow me.
There he goes on his dancing toes with that famous American stride, full of musical comedy pride. Traffic holds up when he hits Main Street. Faster than he's a Broadway hit, and to wrap up the town is his plan. With his famous walk, his fancy talk, his happy grin, they're crowding in around him to hail and crown him the Yankee Doodle, musical comedy man.
Hey, that's it, Pop. You're doing it now. Hey, Cedar Rapids. Sorry to rush off, but we've got places to go to. Big time places. That's right, Pop. That is Broadway beckoning right over there.
You don't say. And right over there's the poorhouse. Maybe if I hurry, I can get a corner room.
Faster than he's a Broadway hit, and to wrap up the town is his plan.
With his modest ways, timid gaze, his humble eyes,
And otherwise we name him, we cheers proclaim him the Yankee Doodle.
Jerry, we're late. And you know
Dough first, dinner after. And for what we are about to receive, dear Lord, as symbols of your everlasting bounty and goodness, we, your devoted and loving servants, toiling together in the fields of Christian endeavor, do most humbly thank you, and especially those of us who are paid up. Amen. Mrs. Red Deer, I do believe it's your turn to help serve. Now, who did get a napkin? That's what I thought. Mrs. Red Deer, serve the roast.
Roast leg of what?
It's awfully small.
Hey, where's the cat?
Upstairs lying down. She had a little migraine. Now, who didn't get butter? That's what I thought. Mrs. Red Deer, you can serve the alphabet soup. P-A-Y.
U-P.
It's my own idea. So much more personal than a summons.
Well, Madame Grimaldi, that certainly was delicious.
Delicious? What did he get that was delicious?
No, sir, we won't be getting food, well, like that, in New York.
New where? What did he say?
New York. I thought that you knew. We're going there with the act.
George!
Come now, Mr. Cohen. You can't really expect us to believe that. Everyone knows how Mr. Elvie turned you down flat this afternoon.
Oh, that little thing, all arranged. We had to get him to turn the act down, because we'd already signed with Hyde and Megan this morning. Ow! That's right. We open the Adams Street Theater next Thursday night in New York City with a new musical sketch called 20th Century Kid. Yeah, that sounds really good. Written, conceived, and executed by George M. Cohen.
Mrs. Cohen, Nellie, have some ribs. And don't you open your mouth. What cats can happen to canines.
Georgie, how about taking us with you? Dogs, with your...
Shut up! You know I don't permit business to be discussed at dinner. Out, all of you out. Coffee in the parlor. Acrobats, animal acts. If your act needs any flushing out, it's something on the spicy side. I do an exotic Turkish dance, you know. Oh, but don't worry. I cover my secret splendor with fringe.
Number one, it ain't no secret. Number two, there ain't that much fringe in Cedar Rapids.
Okay, before you say anything, just calm down, okay? I had to say something, didn't I? Anyhow, it's all true. It's gonna be. I'm going upstairs to write that sketch tonight. And don't you worry about Hyde and Megan. I'm gonna give them an offer that they can't refuse. The 4 Cohans. For $0.
What?
Not 1 red cent. Free. The first week. Then if and when we go over, we'll talk terms.
One little question, George.
Shoot.
What if the new act flops?
Pop, how could it flop? It's conceived, written, staged.
And executed.
By George M. Cohen.
I'll take the girl.
Sing a stroll on
think that she's a perfect friend.
Ain't it awful?
Ain't it awful?
There's that Mrs.
Henry there.
She makes me sick.
I do declare.
Of course you know
She bleached her hair.
she runs around
The public swear
to show her shit.
is why she's there.
Ain't it awful?
Ain't it awful?
That dentist better have a care.
She's always in the dentist chair.
So sing for kids and carry life when you born that Broadway. Here is its Broadway. What a sight to see. Gonna stay there all your life, so send for kids and cat and wife when you born that Broadway train.
If you got a soul in ya, nevermore will you roam. Morning glories in clover, birdies flying all over. Reckon you'll like it if you should strike goodbye home, sweet home.
Well, how do you like her, Mr. Baby? Great, huh?
Not bad, kid, not bad.
Not bad. She's only sensational, that's all. And why shouldn't she be? I wrote her the number. Which reminds me, baby. What about a new contract in case there are 5 co-hands instead of 4?
Are you thinking of giving birth, kid?
Well, I'd have to get married first, and frankly, that's still kinda up to...
Yes?
Oh, Mom, Pop, Joseph. This is Ethel Letter. We're engaged.
Engaged? I have to explain, Mrs. Cohen. George's engaged. I just haven't said no. Then you're lost, poor girl. Welcome aboard. Hey, you're on!
Well, I suppose we ought to be grateful we didn't introduce us going down the aisle.
But I've only gone out with them once. Nobody's even proposed.
What a
1901, the dawn of the 20th century.
I'll never forgive you for this. George Cohen!
That's right, the age of speed. And as of now, the slow courtship, well, it's out of date. Smith's the name. Thomas Edison Smith. And what I've invented is the 60-mile-an-hour romance.
There are organizations to deal with people like you. The police, the law courts, the benevolent protective order.
Would I care to elucidate? Why not? Maestro! No time to pitch woo now. The century's new now. I'm singing my love songs in that new ragtime. The minute I meet ya, I send for the preacher and order those wedding bells to chime. I'm a Yankee with know-how. Don't wanna go slow now. Can't wait for that moon above, or even a dove.
So kiss me and run, kid. It's 1901, kid. Happy my 20th century love. No time to delay now. It's love in the day now. The ready-made wedding gown we demonstrate. Don't look but you're hooked, kid. Your rooster ain't cooked, kid. There's wedding bells chiming, don't be late.
Wait!
Go!
No! I want to be wooed first. Put me in the mood first. I need a mood above. She's taking my glove. My parasol's missing. My handsome one's kissing. Take back your 20th century. Very well, Mr. Thomas Edison Smith. I will accept you as a potential suitor. But I must warn you that I am the sort of girl who wants a boy to meet me properly first. Then go walking, then dancing, then hold my hand, then my waist. Kiss me, propose, march down the aisle, put a ring on my finger, give me a dozen American Beauty roses, and carry me across the threshold.
And I'll do all of that, only put a little 20th century pace in it. Ready?
Go! Meet, walk, dance, hand, waist, kiss, propose, rose, aisle, ring, threshold. Modern age, the whole world's racing. Speed is all the rage, all the rage, all the rage as we go chasing. Thomas Edison, he's the one who's begun accelerating. Now with Mr. Bell, Samuel Morse is love. Why he waiting?
Meet, walk, dance, hand, waist, kiss, propose, rose, aisle, ring, threshold.
No time to wish woo now. It's 1902 now. I love you, I telegraph this fast and clear. Whenever we're parted, we're not broken hearted. As long as the telephone is near, dear. It's love at first sight now, but as things lie now, knowing what stars above.
Meet, walk, dance, hand, waist, kiss, propose, rose, aisle, ring, threshold. Oh,
We're not done, so hurry to begin. It's 1903, kid, and be my 20th century love.
father thanks you, my sister thanks you, my wife thanks you, and now, for the very last time on the Hyde and Bayman vaudeville circuit, I thank you too.
George, what do you mean the last time with Hyde and Bayman? What are you doing?
Well, I'm moving, kid. Up as far as it goes and never coming back down.
George, I like vaudeville. It's what I know best. And look how far the act's come. Why don't we move anywhere?
Because if you're not moving, Ethel, then you're slowing down. And that is not for little George. Mr. Bayman!
Wait, George.
Bayman!
Yeah, kid?
Just thought I'd say so long, Mr. Bayman. Moving up.
What? Oh, you've got 52 weeks a year guaranteed with me.
Yeah, I know. 52 weeks a year, but only 15 minutes a night. And that is just not enough. I want the full time, Mr. Bayman. 8:30 to 11.
Well, George, I'll level with you. 8:30 to 11 is musical comedy, meaning Broadway. And I assure you're ready there. You fall on that street, kid, and you know what? The whole country's gonna hear the crash. You won't get vaudeville booking for 10 years!
Who says that I'm gonna fall?
Bigger boys than you have, Georgie. Look, why don't you take your time? Spend a couple more years in vaudeville before you risk it. I'm saying this for your own good, kid.
So long, Mr. Bayman.
All right, make that goodbye. I'm keeping the lights burning in the window.
Then goodbye, Mr. Bayman.
Hey, kid.
Yes, Bayman?
One last thought. You see, your attitude towards others rubs up the wrong way, kind of. Some people ain't gonna like you, Georgie. Like me.
Oh, is that so? Well, then I'll do without you, Bayman, and the rest of them too if I have to.
He didn't mean that the way he sounded, Georgie.
Well, what do I care how he meant it? Well, he's just one guy. Look, he's right, and I know it. I'm a big mouth. You know what, Ethel? I do not care. I don't. I've got something inside me, something this whole country needs. And I'm gonna give it, Ethel. Free. No strings attached. Like, kid, they are going to love me. And if I lose one or two so-called pals along the way, then I can afford it.
And if it's more than just one or two, George?
If I can have all of that, let it be more. Though there's a whole city full of people out there, just waiting to be taken. Somebody's gonna do it. So why not me?
Georgie.
Why not me? My town, that's Manhattan. Up, down, stone and satin. Noise, boys, all of its glamour can't make me frown. Times Square, how I love it. Fresh air, I die of it. Born in PA, still I'm happy to say this is my hometown. Roar, rush, traffic screaming, red blush, bright lights gleaming, clouds, crowds, nothing about it can get me down. Green trees, I don't need 'em. Birds, bees, you can feed 'em. Skies may be gray now and then on Broadway, and beside every smile there's a frown. Still it's my home. Okay, Pop. I went too fast.
So what if you did, Georgie? Hey, look at me. Everyone's entitled to a few mistakes, really. And one bad show is not the end of the world.
Oh, hey, hold it, Pop. Who said anything about it being a bad show? It was just a little ahead of its time, that's all. See, I said that I went too fast. What I really meant is that Broadway is still moving just way too slow. Way too slow. So, I figure what I've got to do is give this town a little bit of time to catch up. 3 weeks.
George.
Okay, fine, a month. But in exactly that time, we open my new musical comedy, Little Johnny Jones. It'll star the 5 of us, but this time, Pop, I am only doing what I know best.
Yeah, acting, directing, writing, costumes, sets, music. Have you got it figured out yet how you can show the customers to their seats?
I'm working on it, Bob. I am working on it. Listen, it's a beautiful story. Fantastic plot. I play this American jock in England, and he's accused of throwing the big race, only soon you find out I didn't do it. So then... Ethel?
Sorry, George. Thinking about what we talked about last week.
Damon again?
I spoke to him yesterday, George, and he'd be willing to take us back with more money, better billing. We could do the old ad. Have more time for each other.
Look, Ethel, you just don't seem to understand. I said that I was through with vaudeville, and I meant it. Sure, it knocked me down, but this next time, kid, I will bounce. Okay? Don't you worry. We will have time for each other and go away, just the two of us, for as long as you want, wherever you want. Right after the new show begins. Scared you that time, didn't I? Almost made it. Word of warning next time around. Save me a seat. Green trees, I don't need 'em. Birds, bees, you can feed 'em. Skies may be gray now and then on Broadway, and beside every smile there's a frown. Still it's my Your name?
Agnes Nolan. I'm from Worcester, Mass. My folks once met your folks and...
Sing.
Yes, sir. I love the name Billy. My dad was the same Billy. I love the way they laugh and say how silly to call a girl Billy. Baffles them all, Billy. For at the call, Billy, they think it's so queer that a girl should appear. Their illusions I fear I destroy. Here is the reason my name's Billy. My parents expected a boy.
Alright, yep, that's just fine. Ben, go ahead and take her to the costumers, Miss,
Nolan, I'm from Worcester, Mass. My folks once met your folks and...
yeah, great. We'll have to talk about it sometime over lunch. Ben!
Thank you, Mr. Cohen.
Yeah, come on, I haven't got all day. Ben! Okay, look, Ben, it's a rehearsal, so get Ethel and the girls out here. We gotta go through push cart.
Girls, get out!
And pull out this time.
Pull out!
Push me along in my push cart. Push me along with the crowd. What a sensational feeling one feels. It beats all the airships and automobiles. Covered with carrots and rhubarb. Over the sidewalks we shove. Oh, what adventures a single girl
next time we go through it, you do it like you mean it.
Hey, Louis.
What do you want Louis for?
Some fathead told him to put the Eiffel Tower right in the middle of a London drop.
Oh, did they? That's a mighty big problem, isn't it? Oh, wait, no, it's not, because that fathead was me.
What color would you like it?
Ben, get Willie and the kids out here next. We gotta do popularity. We're supposed to do it a half hour ago. Come on, let's get moving. We have a show to do.
Kids, popularity. Let's go.
I'm scared.
Thank God, Georgie, thank God. Here I was thinking it was something serious. Now I can quit worrying about you.
Well, hold on, just one more thing. You've been in this business for 35 years now. How do you know?
Know what, George?
If it's good. I mean, it's not the applause. There are friends out there. You know they're gonna clap no matter what. But how do you know if it's really good?
You know, it's really hard to explain, George, but there's something that happens. Suddenly the whole stage is just brighter. You know those lights are the same as when you set them in rehearsal, but suddenly they just seem brighter, stronger. And the orchestra's playing louder and faster. And George, you wouldn't believe me if I told you just how that stage just begins to shine. Don't worry. You'll know it if it happens. Now come on, son. Come on. Now remember, Jones, watch for the skyrocket. If it goes off, it already has the papers from Nasty's cut that prove you innocent of throwing the derby. So remember, Jones, stick here, on the pier, and watch for the skyrocket.
Thanks, pal. I'll be watching.
Don't worry, Mr. Jones. We still believe in you.
That means a lot, kid.
Any messages back home, Johnny? Any messages back home, Johnny?
Yeah. One. Say hello to dear old Coney Island, there you chance to be. When you're at the Waldorf, have a smile and charge it up to me. Mention my name every place you go, as around the town you roam. Wish you'd call on my gal. Now remember, old pal, when you get back home, give my regards to Broadway. Remember me to Herald Square. Tell all the gang at 42nd Street that I will soon be there. Whisper
be taking that trip together after all.
Come on, cheer up, kid. There will be other trips together. Lots of them. I promise you that, kid. I promise you. Did you ever see two Yankees part upon a foreign shore? When the good ship's just about to start for old New York once more. With tear-dimmed eye they say goodbye, they're friends without a doubt. Then the man on the pier shouts,
Let him clear!
as the ship